find what your therapy is.
Mm-hmm.
What helps you heal? What helps you get through the BS of life, those down times, things like that, and share it. Because you never know that one life you might impact. And even if barbecue or cooking isn't your therapy, it might lead you on that journey to find it. There's such a stigma. It's getting better, but around mental health, especially with men, you know, we're machismo, we're bravado, you know, we don't talk about our feelings, F our feelings. You know? Sometimes you lose sight of serving others like we did in the military, because that's what we're serving our nation. We're serving the people of our great nation. And you lose that aspect. And so when it comes to the food journey and you realize I'm still serving just at a different capacity, and it's making people smile and happy for the most part, unless you screw it up. Yeah.
Unless you burn it.
You got to go Taco Bell or whatever. Every single brisket, I'm nervous. I'm more nervous than running missions. Most of my recipes you see me post, I cook to my wife's liking. Keeps her happy, keeps me happy, keeps the house happy, right?
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Blueprint. Today I've got Jason Wilson with Meat Therapy, superstar barbecue phenom, father, husband, grandfather, veteran. I mean, what else is this guy got? He's going to teach us a little bit about some BBQ today and then actually tell us what's at the heart of it. So stay tuned and find out a little bit more about this guy. And if you guys could do me a favor, just make sure that you hit that subscribe button on the bottom. That's really going to help us to get a few more of these stories out there, man. I just want to share the stories and want to make sure you see them when they come up. So appreciate you. Jason, thank you for coming on the show, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we've met a few times, you know, leading up to this, and I have a few friends that have kind of crossed paths as well. So really, really excited to have you on here because you have such a unique story. But you have so many things and they all, you know, a lot of people live these separate lives of I do this and I also do this and I also do this, but everything of yours is kind of braided into one and turned into this one story that's out of everything, right?
It really has. It's, you know, it's funny when you reflect back on what got you to the moment right here, sitting in a chair next to you and everything that's gone into that and kind of curated this perfect union. You know, life is life, and it's incredible. You know, the relationships that's formed and brought us together today. So appreciate you.
Yeah, 100%. So let's give a 2, 3, 4 minute synopsis on what Meat Therapy is, which is kind of the reason everybody knows your name.
Yeah, Meat Therapy it's a lot of things. First and foremost, it's my therapy. It's getting outside and cooking and doing some good barbecue up for my friends and family. It's therapy for me. I didn't really realize that until like 2019. Had my father-in-law and some of my team members where I work up at the hospital like, oh, you need to start a food blog. I have no idea how to start a food blog. You know, I didn't even know that stuff existed or social media or anything like that. And team member was like, oh, you need to start an Instagram page. Like, oh, I got one. I just use little filters to make the pictures of my kids look better to put on Facebook and share with my family, you know, so I can see what the family's up to. Well, she grabs my phone, starts building out a page, and she goes, all right, what do you want to call it? And man, it just like, my whole cooking journey flashed before my eyes, you know. I was like, oh, this has truly been this therapeutic journey for me. And I said, you know what? I want to call it Meat Therapy.
Yeah.
And she kind of giggled because you can take it from a 12-year-old mindset, right?
Yeah,
and there's
100%.
so many good jokes that can come out of the name Meat Therapy, but it's truly what it was for me. And that was like my aha moment.
Yeah.
And looking back, you know, when I was transitioning out of the military in 2009, I had a pretty rough transition. And barbecue had always kind of been part of my life through my dad and his friends and just growing up. And I was out there cooking but not really sharing it with anybody. And I was in a hole, you know, this dark, secluded hole, but I had all this meat. And so kind of started inviting people back in and seeing just that smile it brought up on people when they took that bite, like, oh, this is good. I don't know. It did something for me.
Yeah.
Where it started kind of lifting me up out of that dark hole. And from there, and then looking back, other stressors in life, I noticed and realized I was outside cooking more. It's like, man, this really is therapy for me. This has been part of my healing journey from that standpoint. And then, the world shut down in 2020 with COVID. And I just started the social media page and things like that. But I work in the hospital. And during that time, it was tough, working like 6 days a week, 18-hour shifts up there. That one day off, I was out in the backyard cooking. If any of my leadership sees this, I'm sorry, but yes, I was sneaking in good home barbecue in the back door when no food from the outside was supposed to come in. But I was helping feed all the different teams across the hospital on those days off and things like that. And, from there, not really knowing the impact of social media, started building relationships, and just all these different opportunities kept coming our way, and we started our classes because we call them therapy sessions. We own a historic home in Waxahachie.
Yep.
And it's on the National Registry of Historic Places. My wife calls it her therapy. Her therapy is way more expensive than my therapy. I don't care how expensive brisket prices get out there. It's about to be 126 years old home.
Okay.
And her hairdresser actually came up with the idea. It's like, hey, does Jason teach barbecue? She goes, no, but he loves to educate. And so it was her husband or the hairdresser's husband, his two brothers, and their dad. And they hadn't really got to see their dad much just because he was kind of high risk, and they were just trying to be safe. And seeing them for 6 hours in our backyard for our first ever therapy session was therapy. Like, I was getting to share that therapy,
gift.
that has helped me.
Yeah.
And seeing it impact with them. The next class, it was a guy had flown his buddy in for it from California. Had just lost his wife. He had a 4-month-old daughter. And then the other couple, their son is Dallas PD, had gotten hit in like a routine traffic stop. And so he was out, and they came in, and just seeing, the guy's buddy who just lost his wife just perk up, and them, like, I hadn't felt normal in 4 months. Today was the day. Thank you.
Wow.
And so getting to do that with people in our backyard and share that experience and share what my therapy is with others has been a true blessing.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone, like, find what your therapy is. What helps you heal? What helps you get through the BS of life, those down times, things like that, and share it. Because you never know that one life you might impact. And even if barbecue or cooking isn't your therapy, it might lead you on that journey to find it. If it's quilting or needlepoint or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just find that thing that helps you, So,
well, that's really cool, because you've basically taken a pastime for everyone, a good time pastime or a relaxation moment, and turned it into, hey, let's take a little bit of time to not only enjoy this, let's also talk for a second and find out a little bit more about, what really ails us, or talk about the things when we have, a cold beer in our hand or a glass of drink in our hand, you know what I mean? And just sit down and be able to self-regulate, and
openly
find,
express, be vulnerable.
Right.
Don't be scared to be vulnerable. I think there's such a stigma. It's getting better, but around mental health, especially with men, we're machismo, we're bravado, we don't talk about our feelings, F our feelings, you know? But no, we need to talk about that stuff and get it out there and talk with others about it and share and because you're not alone in that journey, and being able to connect with someone that may have been in the same struggle as you've been in.
Right.
And like, oh, really? So what's helped you?
Yeah.
and learn and grow with each other along that journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Like even our classes may do a big group, and there might have been some sort of tripe by the time that the group's booked and get there. Well, they all still show up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're engaged in just heavy conversation side. So now if you come to our class, part of the intro is, you know what, there's been some really awesome things that's happened in this backyard within this home. If you're engaged in just a incredible conversation, a healing conversation, a life conversation, and I make the announcement, we're moving on to the next step of something, throw your finger up.
Mm-hmm.
Do not drop where you're at. Continue that conversation. The show still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do your process for you. Do not leave that conversation. So, and we've had that happen a lot.
Wow. Find a breakthrough, stick with a breakthrough, and hey, meat will cut itself over here in a second.
But, absolutely.
We need to deal with what we're dealing with.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Well, but the nice thing about this is that you've gone through and found, some serious ways to capture people's emotional outlets, and so whether taking a good thing and bringing a bad thing to it, and sometimes they both cure themselves, right? So let's talk about how you got to where you began, like where's Jason from? Where were you born?
I was born in Azle.
Okay.
Lived out there, little trailer. I think it was single wide. I really don't remember much, but really I feel like my childhood started on Lake Worth Lake.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad bought a little house out there in 85. And it was a little, I think maybe 900 square foot house. I had 2 younger brothers, and man, we just did it up.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of became the hub for summer parties and fishing, and Dad.
You guys are actually on the lake?
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I remember Dad had brought a big crane in. They dredged it all out. It was pretty nasty out there in the beginning. Added some acreage. We ended up having about 2 acres right there on Lake Worth Lake, and there were some good times had up until I guess 5th grade. Then my mom went on vacation to Las Vegas and decided she didn't want to be a mom anymore. So she didn't come home. So there's my dad with me and my 2 younger brothers, and just all the struggles that, kind of come along with that.
Yeah.
And he was construction. And so, the party still went on during the summer and things like that.
How old are you when this happened?
Already in 5th, going in 6th grade, something like that.
11, 12, something like
11,
that.
12 years old. And that's where I kind of had to learn how to cook, was during that time, because he was gone and working.
Yeah.
Construction's ungodly hours. And so we did learn to hunt. Whatever was in the cabinet, he'd toss it together just so we could eat some things and whatnot. But,
fried bologna sandwich, baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big old pot of beans, make that bad boy last about 5 days. You can do some incredible things with a big pot of pinto beans.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best smelling house with a bunch of dudes and a big pot of beans, but we got to eat.
Yeah.
So kind of started there and went to Azle High School. From there, we stayed in Azle just because the district that we would have been in, the school district, because it would have been Fort Worth, wasn't a good school system. And so we made it out to Azle every day for school. And
were you involved in any sports or?
Played football.
Okay.
Yeah, played football. There was about a year there, moved to Colorado, midway through my freshman year, through midway of my sophomore year. My aunt and uncle, they bought a ski shop in Leadville, Colorado when I was in the 6th grade. And our first trip up there was 7th grade. Fell in love with Colorado. Then we got our dad up there my freshman year, and he loved it too. So we moved. Then my mom pulled some stuff in court down here and ended up having to come back. But you leave for a year, come back, you just slide right back in where you're at. And, thankfully this was in the 90s and all the high school things that you did isn't recorded.
100%.
Like it is now. Like you can't do anything dumb these days.
Yeah, 100%.
And then became a young father, 18.
Okay.
So then...
You got like a 30-year-old now.
Close to it, 26.
Yeah.
I have a 26-year-old son, 24-year-old son, a 9-year-old daughter. Hit the reset button on life.
Yeah.
And my granddaughter just turned 2.
That's awesome.
And the second one's on the way.
That's awesome.
I know. So it's funny. I joke around about hitting the reset button on life and how my daughter's closer to age to my granddaughter than she is to her brothers. But, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Living it.
So were you going to be a football superstar or what were you?
Oh, no. Really didn't know what I didn't know what I was going to do. When you become a dad at 18, all the things you thought, which really, like I loved art. I'm pretty good at drawing, and my aunt was really pushing me like graphic design, something like that. But, whenever, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, Tyson.
Yeah, got punched in that mouth, and so I adjust. So went into running concrete pump trucks, mowing yards, doing anything I could just to
make ends meet.
Yeah, make ends meet. Got married, got divorced in 2003. Concrete around then, kept kind of going. 2004 or so, concrete and construction started tanking. I was working for one company, DFW area. They ended up having to close doors and everything else. And it just wasn't working out. And I didn't know what else to do.
You're like 22, 23 at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 23 going on 24. My middle brother, James, he had gone into the military. He went in the Army, and he was part of the first invasion in Iraq. He had come home, and we were both kind of struggling, trying to figure out how to make money and everything else. And so I went and I called a recruiter. I called Air Force first. I was like, I had to go do Air Force. I wasn't going in the military to be all whole. I had kids I needed to take care of, and insurance needed to provide, things like that. And I remember the recruiter. First question he asked was, how's your credit? I was like, well, I just went through a divorce, So he's like, well, you know what? Get that cleaned up and call us back. I was like, okay. Call the Army. Same thing. First question. Well, how's your credit? Like, same thing. I just went through a divorce, it's not that great. He's like, we can work with that. And man, they were over that afternoon, did a quick little test. And I'm not saying I'm smart, but I can make my way through a test. And I swear it was like a month later, I was gone. I was like, whoa, shit, what did I do?
What does your credit have to do with being accepted?
For your security clearances.
Okay.
And so, I was February of 2005, I was headed to basic.
Okay.
And did all that good stuff, and did a tour in Baghdad, Iraq.
Boots on the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were, I was lead gunner for personal security detail.
Okay.
And we got to do some pretty cool stuff. Got to roll with some folks that were pretty cool. Got to do. But, I just that being outside the wire day in and day out and whatnot, I guess it took a toll on you, body and mind and things like that. And so when I got out, 2009, I didn't have that anymore. I just was lost. And that's where I just kind of spiraled down.
So you were really doing really well while you were in the military. Were you having any ups and downs while you were there, or was it
I think whenever we got back, I started having.
Just when you got back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like after get back, cause I've been through a lot of different things since then just to work on myself. And like right now, even now, like I'm 20 years past still dealing with things. And we created this really great relationship with this organization called Boot Campaign. And we've been doing stuff with them since, I don't know, 2020, 2021. And they have two programs, one being a health and wellness program for veterans. And so last year I finally broke down. Like I was back spiraling. I'd lost my youngest brother. He succumbed to his demons. And then less than 2 months later, I lost my uncle, who was like a father figure to me. And apparently I just didn't have the coping skills, and so I went back to how I used to cope with just doing dumb things, and risks and whatnot. And I think I was on the verge of losing my family. My wife wasn't happy with me. She was on the verge, and, I got a daughter. I was like, oh man. So I reached out to Boot Campaign. They accepted me into the health and wellness program. I'm still in it. Doing what I need to do to be better, to care for myself first and then my family, and be the man, husband, father, grandfather that they deserve.
There's a lot of guys that are out there feeling this exact same thing that you've gone through, right?
Oh, yeah.
And again, to get them into your program is great, just to kind of, crack the surface on things that they need to start dealing with, let alone getting into something like Boot Campaign, right? Relating to those guys, talking of their story, breaking down. A lot of people feel like, first off, that's why I asked the question, when you're in the military and you're over there, are you distracted so much while you're there that you're not dealing with the things that you're seeing and doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so you're just full throttle the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Not concerned. You see these things happen, you do these things, you actively are engaging in certain situations, and it's on to the next and on to the next. So there's no dwelling time.
No, you just shove it down.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
And you get back over here and it's like, what are you questioning? The things that I did, or what's my value?
All of it. What I did, what I saw, what you went through, get here and you have idle hands. It's a rush to send rounds down range, and stop a potential threat, things like that. Get over here, get back home, you lose that rush, but you're still wired.
Yeah.
That primordial brain, and so you start seeking out thrills and things to recreate that rush, and you can't. So you just diving in risky behaviors to try to get it going, and it doesn't quite lend itself to a good civilian life.
There's a dopamine rush mixed with an outlet.
Oh yeah.
That combination, that cocktail of those two pieces were allowed you to handle that then.
Yep.
Right? Coming back, no outlet, no dopamine rush, you're filling the void.
Right. Yeah, doing that, and then the void, you're not sleeping, because when you sleep, you're seeing, or you're remembering,
reliving.
You're having the night terrors and things like that, and so you don't want to sleep. The darkness is your enemy. You just kind of find things, and so I think that's where barbecue, for me, or say barbecue, cooking for others, really kind of, it gave me a different type of like feel good, different type of dopamine dump, because it was making people happy, and smile, and whenever we fast forward to starting social media up and started being kind of open about what meat therapy is and why I started it and how it helps me from that social media presence, and then start getting messages, DMs like, oh, it's a therapy for me too. And it's connected me with other military, active duty and veterans across the nation. And we've had conversations of, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, I've created great relationships through that and help them along their journey. And hey, I got some resources. How can I help you? And things like that. So,
what do you think it is about smoking and, well, on a smoker, not just smoking, but cooking on a smoker, right? That allows people to kind of tear the walls down for a minute. I mean, it is very, say therapeutic to take on your word, but it is very relaxing to get out there and smell the smoke and your downtime, and you've got X amount of hours dedicated to this thing, and there's a reward at the end.
Yeah.
What do you think is the common goal for, or the common reasoning for people to do this?
I think, well, first, it starts before even lighting that fire, right? It starts with whatever cut you've decided to go with for that day, to invest X amount of hours. I mean, you may be investing 14, 16 hours of your day into something, but it starts before that. The getting, like trimming a brisket. I love trimming brisket. I love it. I love it. It takes your mind away from everything and puts you in a soul focus. And you're like, all right, we want, make sure it's trimmed this way, it's rounded, maximize airflow, all that good stuff. Then you light the fire. And now you're going into fire management. And there's just something about, I mean, the caveman aspect, all right? Like it's ingrained in us somewhere, way back here, like fire, you know, and smoke and meat, and just takes you back and start that process. And then I think, you know, the cooking journey throughout that day of whatever you're cooking, the brisket, the pork chop, whatever it might be. But then that end reward, like you're getting to still serve someone. Last night, I did a big old beautiful tri-tip. I got to serve my wife. She loves tri-tip. You know, you lose that. Sometimes you lose sight of serving others like we did in the military, because that's what we're serving our nation. We're serving the people of our great nation. And you lose that aspect. And so when it comes to the food journey and you realize I'm still serving just at a different capacity, and it's making people smile and happy for the most part, unless you screw it up. Yeah.
Unless you burn it.
You got to go Taco Bell or whatever. But I really think it gives you that focus throughout that process, the what ifs, the mystery, like being in Baghdad. Is that bag of trash going to blow up or not? Are we going to lose somebody there? Those are the what ifs there. What if we do this, You take that and you don't have that mystery. Well, in cooking, you still have that, you know, you regain that mystery behind it. Well, if I put this log on, how big is my temp going to spike from there? Oh, let's go ahead and shave it down a little bit and kind of negotiate. Well, you know, it's a little colder today. How much fuel am I going to blow through today? You still get some of that mystery aspect, keeps you on your toes, you know? Then you slice it.
Yeah.
Then you shred it. And you pray to the barbecue gods that you didn't F it up. And it brings a smile on some folks' faces.
Yeah.
And you know, 9 times out of 10, it does.
It's funny how everybody kind of gathers around as they, as the first cut start making, everybody's like waiting for you to go, all right, you flip it over, pass it on your knife or whatever. And everybody's like, you know, it's like fish when you throw crumbs in the water, you know? Yeah.
Start hitting. Yeah. You go to slice up brisket, first ones. And even like I've done a lot, like I'm a backyard guy through and through. Yes, we do events now where I'm doing more, but every single brisket, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I've done it. The feel is perfect. The seasoning looked great. The temps were great. Like everything says this should be a great product.
Right.
But every time I slice it one, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm more nervous than running missions.
Yeah.
You know, because people want to see that beautiful Texas brisket.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So,
yeah. It's funny. Like I'd love to kind of dig into some standardized questions for barbecue, right?
Okay.
And then once we get through that, and then we talk about like the taste and everything that comes out of it, jump back into this military aspect and how people can get involved in that. So stay tuned if you're waiting for me to jump back into more of that. I just want to tackle a few things because he said some things here about that I'm super interested in. Sorry. You said I love trimming a brisket. So many different ways I've heard to trim a brisket. And, when it comes down to it, some people say leave a lot more fat on, and some people say trim it down to an 1/8 inch, and some people say, hey, round this significantly off, and some people are like, I don't want to waste meat. Mm-hmm. So what's your approach that you get so excited about?
My approach is trim it however you want to. Like if you're wanting to maximize volume, leave it all on there. Like I have a buddy that he's done a couple where he hasn't trimmed it at all. He's taken it out of the bag, wiped it down, seasoned it, and cooked it. Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like trimming brisket, people get really just, I don't want to say scared, but anxious over trimming and doing a brisket. And it's not that hard. I want to be like a true artist with this craft. And so I trim pretty aggressively for the most part. I'll try, if I can, freeze it for about an hour, get it super cold just so I can make the shapes and dimensions easier. I'll waste. I don't waste. I'll trim aggressively so I have a lot on the side, but also have a grinder. So we'll grind the trimmings up for our ground burger meat. It's ground brisket.
Yeah, really good.
Works great.
Yeah.
Use the fat that I take off for for my tallow, things like that. But I go into it trying to just make it, I want it to look pretty. Because when it's pretty like that, it's going to cook more even for me. So it's rounded all the way through for the most part, pretty flat. There are times that I won't take it down as much as I wanted to, just because I know I got like a big event coming and we're just running chop. Like if we're running chop,
leave some fat.
Yeah, we'll leave some fat in there. Won't be as aggressive because it's all going to get rehydrated anyway, the way I'll cook chop versus slice. Slice, I'm trying to trim it down that every single slice is edible, even to the very end of the flat. That we're not wasting anything and everybody gets something.
So are you a 1/8 when you get, or would you, if you're doing it the way you want to do it, how much fat are you leaving on the bottom? And let's say 4 slice.
1/8 to 1/4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just all across the bottom, cutting the tips off, rounding. And it has like that little flap inside that has like fat tucked up inside of there.
Yeah, your mohawk.
Are you trimming out of that?
I'm taking that mohawk out.
Okay.
And the way, for the most part, when you take that mohawk down, because if you pull it up, it legit looks like a brisket has that mohawk up there. You can leave it on. As your cooking process happens, it's going to kind of dry up and it'll start sticking up and it'll actually kind of look like this crazy looking mohawk or comb over or something like that. I do take that off. I usually take it off even when I'm running chop. Just because you do got that big fat layer in there in between that point and flat, that you can actually get it down a little bit more and shave it out to where you have a better shot at rendering it more.
Are you I probably know the answer to this, but are you a butcher paper or are you a foil guy?
Butcher paper.
Butcher paper.
Butcher paper. Unless I forget that I'm out of butcher paper, that I'm nothing. I would just go until it's about 197, 198 degrees. So a little less than what you normally would. And then I'll just pull it and wrap it super tight in foil.
Okay.
To finish out that process, bring it up. That way I'm not sacrificing the bark as much. That's happened a few times just because, you got a real job, you have meat therapy, you got family. Sometimes I miss things on my grocery shopping. And so I've ran out of butcher paper a couple times and don't realize it till it's time to go wrap.
Yeah.
You're all excited, like, oh, we're ready.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, no, we're not. Okay. We're just going to keep rolling like this. And so
tell me the difference between butcher paper and foil and do's and don'ts for each one of those things.
Butcher paper is, so you want to use the pink butcher paper. It's unwaxed. It's semi-permeable. So once you wrap in it, you're still going to, after meat hits 160, 165, it really stops taking on smoke. All you're doing now is kind of making sure you keep some moisture in there for tenderization, and continue working on your bark. You wrap after your stall. So the bark's already started to dry out. So we're not going to soften it up too much. Go in there and the butcher paper is going to allow it to continue to kind of dry out and get just that nice Texas bark that everyone loves.
Yeah.
Foil, it's good. It can speed up your cooking process.
Okay.
Just because you're trapping that heat in now, where heat can kind of release out of that butcher paper. With the foil too, you got to be careful because, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You do it however you love doing it. But with foil, you got to be a little more careful because your temps will jump on you faster. Because now, once you're in, you've literally trapped that heat in there. It can create the heat distribution throughout that whole protein to just shoot up significantly faster. So you got to be on it a little bit more than if you're using butcher paper.
Seen people use a boat technique as well, right?
Yep. So with a boat, you're still working on your bark. You're not getting that steaming aspect of completely wrapping in the foil. But then you're tenderizing that flat a little bit more. And the boat technique's great. I've done it a few times, just playing around, experimenting. Holds
all the juices, and you got a big mess at the end, but it's really juicy as a brisket.
It is. Yeah. It is. The times I've done boat method, I'll actually take a couple strips of fat off that brisket and I'll lay it down in there. So once it goes in, it'll render out, and I don't want to say it's like a confit, but it's kind of like a confit in there. Once it renders down, you get that tallow going, and it creates a pretty nice product. It's good. Like, I don't do true caterings. I did that back in the early 2000s, back in the 1900s. But a few that I'll do are like bigger events. If I'm having to do a lot of briskets, I'll do that way sometimes, just because you're having to slice and you're not slicing on the board per serve. You're putting a big pan of sliced out. So now I got the tallow and some of those rendered juices from the brisket. Dump back over and slow down the oxidization process and keep it tender longer and moist. So
that's cool. So even when you're not doing it for a big group like that, if you were to cook all that and throw that fat inside that boat or the foil, you'd save that.
Oh yeah.
You'd pour it into a jar or do something and use it for, what would you use it for outside of that?
Well, like instead of oil in the house on my skillets and stuff, if I'm cooking, I need some oil, I'm using it for that.
Oh, okay.
It has a higher smoke point than just your normal vegetable oil and olive oil, things like that. So, and it's got a great flavor. I know we did, I think we called it was our first ever advanced therapy class back in last January. It was a 14-hour day. And it was brisket from start to finish. And somebody mentioned something tallow, and this guy perked up and was like, "Oh yeah, tallow. I use it on my skin and my beard." And I was like, so he became kind of the running joke.
Yeah.
We named him Tallow. But then after that, I like go down, like my wife loves going to these little boutique places.
Yeah.
There's always like maybe a shelf or two for dudes, you know. Like, I'm going to go to the dude section. I'll be back in about a minute and a half. Start seeing product. They're actually using
beard tallow.
Beef tallow in like facial care and beard stuff and things like that. I was like, I just don't know if I could. Like, I love tallow,
but
I don't think I could put that on my face and in my beard. I mean, I already smell like smoke half the time as it is, and just meat, and I don't know if I could do that. So I won't be using it for that, but. You know, it's kind of become my oil replacement.
Yeah. It'd be on brand for sure.
Oh yeah. I want to try like doing a fat wash with it with my bourbon and something.
Okay.
You know, I've seen some stuff like that. A lot of things. Just
like how would that work?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I remember I'd looked up looked it up one time and kind of saw how to, and I can't recall how it was. I'd have to find it again. It'd be totally, I'm not like big on going to YouTube. I like to screw stuff up on my own.
Figure it out, wreck it.
But I think this is one I'd have to go watch a YouTube video on.
Yeah. I hear a lot of people, sticking with the basics, I hear a lot of people talk about salt, pepper only, right? Salt, pepper only. You brought some stuff over here today.
Yeah.
These are a couple of your seasonings.
Yeah.
Main ingredient on these is salt, pepper.
Not coping mechanism. There's no pepper.
Okay.
It's it's salt, garlic, little umami.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of umami. It is and it's not like a true barbecue seasoning. It is I enjoy cooking for others.
Okay.
Whether it's an indoor kitchen, outdoor kitchen, it's a great base. It's great as it is, or to build upon.
Okay.
The other one, it's salt and pepper.
Okay. Well, the question is that people always say salt and pepper, and then there's a lot of orange that comes out.
Yeah.
And gets everywhere. Well, salt and pepper ain't orange. So what's really going down?
Yeah. I mean, just another type of salt.
Okay.
Lowry's for a seasonal.
Okay.
You know, that's pretty much your standard Texas is regular salt, coarse kosher salt.
Yeah.
Lowry's, coarse black pepper.
Okay.
Or extra coarse 60 mesh.
What is the orange in there? What is that?
In Lowry's?
Yeah.
I think probably some of that paprika extract or paprika that's in there, things like that. I don't know the full breakdown of it.
Okay.
But my guess, paprika gives just a beautiful color. So
yeah. I'm excited about using these. I've forever used I don't know if this is a cuss word, but I've used a salt lick seasoning. Yeah. It's really good. The original.
Yeah. Yep.
And my wife, although she's only tried a few barbecue places, she's like, yours is the best ever. Right. And I'm like, just because she says that is amazing. First off, I'm stealing somebody else's seasoning and making my brisket. But at the end of the day, like, it's cool to see that, but it does have orange color to it. No, it does have a lot of spice to it, you know? And so when you go to start putting on this seasoning on your brisket, how heavy are you pouring this on?
Oh, I'm dumping it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go heavy, especially in this anything like a big protein. So your pork shoulders, your briskets, your prime rib, those big cuts, it can handle more seasoning. You want more seasoning on there versus your smaller cuts, like your pork chops, things like that. You're not going to season it the same way you do your brisket as far as the amount that goes on. Just because you have smaller surface area and you don't want it to be overly this or that, you know, too salty or too peppery, things like that.
When, and this is the way I do mine. And so you tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but I know your answer is whatever you want to do, but, I pour it on really heavy and then I massage it in. Right. And then as I pour, and then I can tell, like, cause the meat starts to almost break apart, you know, as you're massaging it in, it starts to separate just a little bit. And then I pour a little more on there and then I massage it again until it feels like it has almost like a caking around the outside of it. And I do that top, bottom, sides, rub it into the fat, rub it into the creases and everywhere. Right. Is that, I mean, cause it's a lot. You know, I can use a quarter of that whole thing right there, you know, just doing this brisket.
Yeah. And that's what I want you to do. So you order more.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it right. Like I don't really massage, like my brisket, I don't really massage in. I'll start on the meat side first, hit it, couple pats. I don't really, sometimes I use a binder, sometimes I don't. Just kind of depends on what, and if I do, I usually use Worcestershire sauce. Flip it over, do it up again, but it's heavy. It's a heavy coat. But I don't really massage. I just pat and then let the salts do its thing. So that salt's going to get in there, start penetrating, start breaking down those muscle fibers, things like that.
Yeah.
Like whenever I teach steak, our steak class is ribeye. And we do they say, oh, salt your ribeye the night before, a little salt on there, put in the fridge, sometimes you got time for that. Guess what? We're going to do about 11 to 12 minute salt dry brine. And it blows people's minds. The way salt interacts and tenderizes that meat, where we'll salt it up. Then I bring them over to the sink to rinse it off. And I always tell them, like, all right, before you salt it, I want you to kind of run your fingers over there and feel how tight those fibers are.
Mm-hmm.
Salt it when we go over the sink.
It's kosher salt.
Thing. Yeah, coarse kosher salt.
Okay.
Do the same thing and feel the difference. And they're like, oh my gosh. And that was only done in 11 minutes,
wow.
Things like that. So get it on there. The longer you can do, the more it's going to tenderize.
Mm-hmm.
Briskets, if I can, I try to get them seasoned up 24 hours in advance.
Okay. And then throw them back in the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll usually, and I don't know if there's any science behind this, I'll season it. And as soon as I start seeing it sweat, whenever you start getting that wet on top, that's when I'll go back in the fridge.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just in my mind, it seems like it's better that way.
Okay.
Excuse me. Same with shoulders, for some pulled pork, things like that. Same. My rib roast for Christmas, it's getting salted tomorrow morning before I go into work. It's going to get, 48-hour salt set. So yeah, salt your friend.
Okay. So you're going to take that, you're going to salt it, you're going to rub it in, then you're going to throw it on the grill. You point towards the flame or point away?
Start off, point goes towards your heat source.
Okay.
Because there's more intermuscular fat in there. You can take that heat longer, things like that. At the wrap, I'm going to flip it and have my flat going towards that heat source to get it to catch up and finish off.
Okay. So that you take the thick end, put it towards the heat. At the turn, you flip it the other way.
Yep.
Fat up, fat down.
Fat up.
Fat up.
Yeah. That
drains down through the meat.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Okay.
It doesn't. That was the old school thinking behind it, but science has dispelled that.
Okay.
I think fat up just because I like fat up because it's tradition, but you can render it better. And there's something about having that nice little piece of fat on that bite that's well rendered, brown, versus if you're fat down. I've done one upside down like that before, and it was on accident. It just wasn't the same. Like everything I don't know. And then it might be because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I screwed up. Whatever. But the fat wasn't the same. I want that fat up top. I want the heat, coming up over, rendering it down, and just creating, it just has that extra flavor to it. Fat's flavor, right? And something about being up.
So you said science has proven it wrong. What did they prove that
the meat doesn't truly, like, the fat doesn't drip into, like, isn't absorbed by that meat,
by the fibers?
Yeah.
Okay. So, runs off the side versus running down the side of it.
Ever doing your brisket and the thin end on your flat cups up, it traps right there. So it either runs off or it traps right there.
Okay.
It doesn't get absorbed back into it. What you're doing is the intermuscular fat that's in there. That's the fat flavor you're tasting because you're rendering it out and it actually gets dispersed throughout that protein.
Okay. So when we get it, we're cooking it at what temp? 225? Where are you at?
Depends on
size of the brisket. How much time?
How much time I have to invest.
Okay.
If I'm
let's say you have your ultimate. If I were to make my very best brisket, what would I do?
I would have my brisket, put it into my cold smoker. I don't even have a fire going. Start just a little baby fire, slowly bring to temp over several hours, up to about 225. Let it sit there for an hour or two, then to 250, up to 275, 275 until I wrap. Once I'm wrapped, then I'm going to go maintain 275, maybe 300.
Okay. Once you've wrapped, you're going to turn to 300 and cook that. And how long are you going to cook that for?
Till it's done.
And that's 202?
No. It's till it's probe tender.
Okay.
Everything, if you read recipes, things like that, a good rule of thumb is 203 degrees.
Okay.
Right. I always tell folks, start probing with your InstaRead thermometer. Don't look at the temp. You're probing for fill.
Yeah.
Start probing once you're about 195. I've had briskets where they're probe tender at 196. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, we're done. I look at them like, oh, okay. If you're not used to what that fill is yet, then aim for about 203. But as you work on your craft and really, like we kind of talked earlier, how you want to be better, you want to do and things like that, you'll get the feel down. And it should feel when that probe goes in like a butter knife going, you sit your butter out on the countertop. Should just have that feel to it. That's your muscle memory feel. So when that probe goes in,
just slide through that easy.
Then you're good to go.
Okay.
So it might be 195. It might be 206. Who knows?
So every cut is different, depends
absolutely.
on. Okay. So let's talk about, speaking of that, let's talk about the difference between prime, choice. I mean, look, I'll be real with you. Like, I hit HEB up the other day and was looking at some briskets and they were like $130 for a brisket. And I was like, bro, what happened to the $65 brisket the other day? I'm like, what was going on with that? So talk to me, like, for someone to make an investment of $130 for a brisket, is it that much better than a $65 brisket? Like,
with your prime, you're going to have more intermuscular fat. Okay. So you got that advantage of you. So it's going to be more forgiving throughout that cook. Go choice and like our brisket classes, I teach choice because it's more economical. I think Kroger right now has choice briskets on himself for $2.99 a pound. Man or woman can go buy that brisket at $2.99 a pound and feed their family with that.
Yeah.
It's harder to pull the trigger on a $130 brisket versus a $60, $65 brisket.
Right.
Your choice is going to be leaner, obviously. So doing that, you want to wrap it, make sure you wrap it in something. Choice, you don't ever want to go the method of just letting it stay out there, cook until it's done, and then wrap and go in. You're going to want to entrap some of those juices in there. So your foil boat method would be great for your choice. I still do the butcher paper for mine, but I'll use some tallow in the wrap. I usually don't, like if I'm doing prime and things like that. I know that's been a big deal with adding the tallow in with your wrap and things like that. I only do that with my choice because it adds more fat in there, helps with a little bit of insulation and moisture retention.
When you say you're adding the tallow, are you rubbing it on the sheet or are you taking a chunk of it and sticking it inside that?
I've already rendered it down, so I'm like, it's the liquid form of the fat, and putting it down, rubbing it on, put a little over the top, then wrap it up and go.
Okay.
So, and then even with that, like with your choice, if you can have the time or the ability, the fridge space to make sure you season it 24 hours in advance, just to help get that tenderization, allow that salt to do what it needs to do during that time, the better.
Okay. So you think you're fine either way as long as you prep it right and cook it.
Oh, yeah.
For what it needs to be cooked like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, briskets back in the day, that was select or less, know, before the grading system was out, and doing it up on the trails, the cowboys, things like that, and Cookie doing his thing, working magic with it. They weren't running prime and things like that. They were figuring it out. So
what really is the difference between the type of cattle that produce something that is prime versus the type of cattle that's a select?
I think the genetics behind it, the cattle and the feed out process and just how they work. I don't know the true, that's my speculation. I don't really know but I think a lot of it's genetics on how they breed for it and things like that.
Okay. Just to pinky up really quickly. There's been a lot of debate about old school versus new school on these cooking systems. I've seen people cooking on an offset. I've seen people cooking on a pellet grill. Seen people cooking in a green egg.
Yeah.
I've seen like these elevator shaft looking things.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen these ones that are on like rotisserie style. Talk to me about each one of these and what's real? What's the best?
It's all real. And the best one is whatever allows you to cook for your family and meet your lifestyle needs.
Okay.
You know, I have a bunch of Traegers. I'm an ambassador for Traeger.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a pellet grill was until late 2019, I think. I've always had an offset and a Weber, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, the Traegers, the pellet grills are, they said, set it, forget it. Well, I ruined my first 4 cooks on that thing.
Yeah.
I overcomplicated it, you know? I was like, I thought this was going to be, no.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it is. I live a very busy life. I have the real job outside of meat therapy. I have kids and grandkids, you know, and we're very active and going. And so my pellet grill for an active lifestyle to still cook something and be great is a great option.
Right.
Drum smokers. I got my first drum smoker 3 or 4 months ago, I guess. And it's from Cotton Gin. It's their harvester. It's a beautiful rig.
Explain to people what drum smoker is, just so in case they don't know.
So it's a 55-gallon metal drum with a lid on it. This one's a little bit fancier. It's got some flutes that come out for regulation, a door in the front to be able to add fuel if you need to. But really, did you ever grow up with the burn barrel out in the backyard?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, that was the favorite part about going to my grandmother's. Like, oh, we get to burn, you know?
Yeah.
Think about a burn barrel, just a whole lot fancier that you're cooking meat on.
Okay.
It's fun. Like, you can smoke with it. You can hang with it, like hang your meats, things like that. It's a lot of fun.
It's almost like a pit grill, except you're taking the fire further away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Or you can get it down closer to it if you want. You can drop things down closer. There's a heat deflector that you can use, kind of like your Kamado style, your ceramic cookers, like your green eggs.
Yep.
That heat deflector, so you can do the smoke and not have that direct heat and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. Offset will always be my first and foremost method to use, just because we grew up on it. Like, my dad talked about me growing up on the lake and all the parties and things like that. My dad and his buddies, I can't remember if they built it or they had it and brought it out, and it just became there. Yeah. And I think, you know, growing up with that and the parties, and my dad says my first ever overnight brisket was when I was like 7. I think it was just mainly because he knew I was excited. I'd wake his drunk ass up to go put another fire on the log, you know. But you know, it's tradition. Yeah. I think you get a little bit better bark, you render the fat a little bit better, things like that, and it's just get to play a fire.
You know, one thing with the fire and the offset is, look, it's a little bit of a headache to try to stay on top of the fire and making sure the temperature is what it is, but the metal that's in those offsets is so much thicker. And a lot of these pellet grills, you know, quite honestly, like I have a pellet grill myself, and I know I'm losing heat through the side of that thing, especially when it gets cold, because it cooks completely different, right? But you're able to control what temperature you do have. Once it's in the box and you have that flame, you're consistent throughout, you know, as opposed to the other way around. It's still churning, but it's like it's losing through the thickness of the metal and through the cracks in this thing. And
and once the good offsets, like mine's a custom built from, I try to stay local as much as possible, and Cannon Pits and Fabrication out of Granbury. It's it's nothing big. It's beautiful. Like, when I pull it out of the trailer at events and stuff, it turns heads. But man, that thing cooks like a gem. Yeah. Like, once you get it up, and you know, you have your heat soak process where you got to heat up the metal too. So, and once it's truly heated up to temp and it's taking in all the heat it can, then you just ride. I mean, you just toss something in every 45 minutes to an hour, and It's almost like cruise control.
I love it. I'm about to get me a new one as well. I don't know what I'm going to get yet, but I got to get a new one because I want to do some of this while I'm in bed versus like getting out and running on that thing or walking away from it and wearing how it's going. So I'll take some advice from you after this is all said and done. But, but you know, so once while you're cooking on an offset, I know that it is sitting by the fire, sitting by your smoker. What kind of chairs you got?
I have it's I think it's the Magellan director style chairs. I got a bad back, so I can't be all like low riding and no support. I gotta be firm to make it through that cook. So that's my chair.
You got them shocker springs on that bad boy?
No, I'm gonna upgrade those though.
Man, that's it right there. I'm telling you. What's the drink of choice when you're out smoking a brisket?
Usually something with TX whiskey in it. I love like the TX whiskey blended and Coke Zero.
Okay, there you go.
It's just good.
Well, every Texas boy's a whiskey Coke kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
And that's it's funny. I was a beer guy in the military, and I was guys like, hey, let's go, Wilson. Let's go have a couple drinks. I was like, I'll come out for my 2 beers.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well, had a little dive bar outside of Fort Hood to go to, and the bartender really liked us, so I'd order my 2 beers, which was just 2 pitchers.
Yeah. Okay.
Drink. Yeah. But everybody else was whiskey and Coke, and I don't know. I'll order one, and over there in the corner trying to drink it, be a man, and kind of got to where I liked it. But then I discovered old fashions.
There you go.
I think it was Longhorn Steakhouse. We went to Longhorn and I ordered one. I was like, and I've been pretty much obsessed ever since. Like, I make my own simple syrups now for them. I've come up, like, we teach a old fashioned station in our classes. It's smoked old fashioned.
Okay.
But I don't do it like the restaurants do it. Just because I tell them how, you get that white plumy smoke and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're pumping you full of cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say it half-heartedly joking, but it's the white smoke like that is, you don't want that in barbecue.
Yeah.
Right? Because it has a little bit more carcinogens in there, and it gives it a bitter taste. So they talk about, whenever you're smoking, keeping that almost clear smoke, that blue smoke.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to like these at the restaurants, but it was bitter to me. I couldn't do it. So, like, all right, how do I create a smoked old fashioned that's not bitter and it's not pluming full of white smoke? Because I'm like, and don't forget, I'm in healthcare.
Yeah,
that's my real job now, is in healthcare. And so created our smoked simple syrups, and then I smoke our fruit. And found that like oranges take on that smoke really well. And once you slice it off and you go do your twist, it just releases those oils more, more natural oils coming out of that rind, and gives you just this very light hint of a smoky flavor. So it's not overpowering. It's not bitter. It is good.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to a few places where they're, putting the cap on, they're spraying the torch through it and makes this big plume, or they put it inside of a chamber and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, everybody's super excited about it, and everybody is looking around to see what's going on, right? Tastes like you're chewing on a piece of charcoal to me, at the end of the day. And I'm like, I don't want to drink an ashtray.
Yep.
I prefer not to get it done. So that sounds very interesting that you're taking the fruit, that you're actually smoking the fruit, and everybody else is using fresh fruit. So that's a completely different approach than I've heard before.
Yeah. It's worked out well. And I'll wet it. I'll throw it in the oranges. I'll wet them, throw them in the freezer for about 30 minutes, pull them out, a little bit more water onto the smoker. Because cold and wet attracts smoke molecules more.
Okay.
And so that's kind of why I'll put my brisket into a cold smoker too. Is, all right, it's cold. It's going to attract the initial smoke molecules more right off the bat. So I'm not worried trying to push at the end to get more smoke on it.
Is the cold smoke blue or white?
Like starting it off?
Yeah.
You might have at the very beginning just a very hint of your white, like on your initial ignition, but it clears out really quick. If you get it, even if you're doing the baby fire, like the little fire bombs I use, it ignites it really quick. Doesn't come up in temp real fast, but it ignites that wood quick, burns through that initial like dirty smoke stage to where you're thin within minutes.
Okay.
So,
and you're throwing just like, you're trying to get that temperature to what to do a cold smoke like?
Oh no, like I'm not cold smoking my fruit. Is that what, like,
when you said you like to do the brisket and then you throw it in the cold smoke, just like you do the same, that's why you do that.
Oh yeah.
I was just capitalizing on it because we didn't.
Gotcha. Baby fire, slowly come up to about 100 degrees.
Okay.
And then once I hit 100, I'll put some more on there. And it's about a 3-hour process to get me up to about 225.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So once you set everybody up, basically you've made old fashions for the crew that comes out, right? This is how we make these. TX whiskey for all these.
Oh yeah.
Ice, bitters, simple syrups.
Yep. So 1/2 ounce of our simple syrup, 2 ounces of TX whiskey straight bourbon, couple dashes of just regular aromatic bitters. And then we also like orange bitters in ours. So we'll do 2 dashes of orange bitters. Nice big block of ice. Your fruit, like your orange rind, spin it in. And then the Luxardo cherry with a little bit of that juice on there.
Oh, throw a little juice in,
go in there. I think Luxardos taste good. I haven't been able to eat one in years just because my wife steals them all. And if you're a good husband and you make old fashions at home and your wife likes Luxardo cherries, give her that cherry.
Yeah.
And it just makes life so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like it just brings a smile to her face. So guys out there, make sure you give your wife that cherry.
Give it up.
Yeah.
Give it up. Let's go. So you got everybody around the fire sitting out. That's when the stories start to come out, right? So you set this back. We're circling back around to the meat therapy part, right? Done all the prep. Everything's sitting on. What's the introduction? What do you how do you open up?
Intro, kind of what we talked about earlier, that story starting at 2009 of getting out of the military. Life sucked.
You tell them your story first.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is where I was at. This is how I felt.
Yeah. And this is because if I'm not vulnerable right out the gate, nobody's going to know what meat therapy really is when they come in there, unless they know our story already. So I want to be open and honest right there. And, we go into that story and just ups and downs between then and where we're standing at now. And we tell them, like, yes, we call it a barbecue class, a cooking class, learn how but really we want people to pump the brakes on life, forget about all the BS that's happening outside these walls. Let's come together in here. Let's talk. Let's have conversation. Let's cook some stuff. Hopefully it turns out great. If not, it's on you because you're the one that cooked it. May have been under my tutelage, but it usually turns out pretty good.
Yeah.
And let's just have some fellowship together.
Yeah.
Food, drink, smoke, fire.
Yeah.
And I've found that with doing that and being open, it can sometimes start conversations very quickly about struggles that somebody else may be having, which is great. It puts us a little bit behind in the class whenever it does, but I'm like, you got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's sit down, let's talk.
Yeah.
And I'll, Jacqueline, my wife, she helps me with these things, and she knows how to keep the show running if that happens. And we'll have that conversation, and then we'll get started, and we may pick it up more to it. And then with our classes and things like that, we'll have these downtimes. So it's not all like bam, bam, bam. Like there's significant downtime to be able to have conversations.
Yeah.
Sit around. We do offer cigars.
Okay.
And some people will have it, or a couple of guys will, and everyone will start sitting around and talking, and it'll be time for me to sit down and talk with them. And those questions, sometimes like I've had guys, how do I get help? Got some resources. Let me tell you about boot campaign. If they're a veteran, if not, then, try and guide them to some other resources. And just allow the conversation go. So the conversations can be anywhere from, well, how do I do this on a smoker, or how do I cook this that we're not even covering today, to how do I do life? You know, and there's just, and complete strangers that we've just welcomed into our home, open up, and we get to have those real authentic conversations with each other.
Yeah. So basically what you're trying to do is just crack the nut a bit. You're not really trying to, you just want people to open up and have a conversation and realize that, hey, there's other people out there just like me.
Yeah.
You know,
you're not alone in whatever battle you're facing. Like, we may not be battling the same battle. Yeah. But we've battled. And there's some things that's helped me. Might help you, or they may be battling something, they can share their experience and what's kind of helped them, or, you know, things like that. And then people will hear that conversation going, and it'll attract others to start chiming in. All of a sudden you're having like this big kumbaya moment. That's just incredible. That you don't see that often out there, especially amongst men. And it I think it's just creating that safe environment to be open, to talk about it. And so
are most of the guests that you have, are they military based guys?
Lately it has, because that's our focus. It's been on, like with Boot Campaign, we've partnered with them. So the health and wellness program I talked about, they do a graduation ceremony with them. And it was last year we started doing the graduation ceremony / therapy session at our house, in our backyard. And so these veterans, they fly them in from all across the nation. And that's where I started seeing this kind of, where I imagined meat therapy going from a veteran standpoint. And so with Boot Campaign trusting us so much to bring these veterans into our home, to put on a class with them and share my story and therapy, and I always joke around. It's like, you're graduating. You thought you were done with therapy with Boot Campaign, but you got one more to go. Hopefully this one doesn't leave you crying, you know? Yeah. But found that more and more too. So we've done a few other classes this year that there seems to be more and more veterans just in the class that as soon as I start that initial intro and talk about my veteran status, things like and we'll ask too, got to where, do we have any veterans in the group? They'll raise their hand so we can recognize them, thank them for their service. And which is awkward, because even for me, I know, like, anyone says, "Oh, thank you for your service." Like, dang, what do I do with my hands? You know, but just recognizing them. Yeah. And we're getting more and more that may not know anything about meat therapy, but they are veterans and get to engage from that standpoint.
You know, it's funny. I want to address that just for a second. You said it's really tough when people tell you, thank you for your service. Yeah. Right. And from an outsider's perspective, because I was in the military, I get asked all the time, was I in the military? I was not in the military, but I'm super thankful for everyone that has done this for us and taken care of us and protected us and everything of that nature. But why is it so hard? Because what I know that you guys know on the outside, it's almost like saying yes, ma'am, to a lady that doesn't want to be called ma'am. Right. We want to be respectful, and we want to make sure that we're calling out the sacrifice that you guys have made. We want to make sure that you know that you're respected and loved and appreciated for everything. But on the other side of that, what is just so people that don't have that can understand and go, I've heard, I don't really feel like that was worth saluting, you know?
Yeah. I think, we signed up for it. Yeah. We haven't had a draft since Vietnam. Now those boys that got drafted, they deserve every amount of respect, kudos we can give them, because they didn't get that coming home. My generation, you come home, you're greeted with love and cheers, but we signed up for it. We knew what we potentially were getting ourselves into. So I don't know. It's just I don't know, like what we did, I know made a difference. But being thankful for it just feels weird. And I don't know how to explain that.
But don't you know that the transaction of what both people did in Vietnam and the transaction of what you guys did was the same? Reasoning to go in and acceptance on the way out. That's not what we're thanking everybody for. We're thanking for you putting your life on the line and you saying, no matter when it comes down to this, I chose to do this or not choosing to do this, I'm still doing this, and my life is the thing that stands between you and those other guys. And people want to stand up and respect and say, thank you for making those choices, right? And I guess what I'm saying is, like, I'm not trying to teach you anything at all. I mean, like, you've been there, done that, and I haven't, right? So what I am saying is that from our perspective is we want to know what to say. You know, we want to know how to thank you. We want to know for all those people that are out there that are suffering and feeling some kind of way about these things. We want to know, like, what should I do or what can I do to make you feel more comfortable and celebrate the fact that you stood up for me? You know what I mean? Like, so I know it's an awkward situation on both sides, but what's the best way for someone like us to approach that?
Even though the thank you for your service makes so many of us feel awkward, weird, I really don't know. I haven't been able to dissect the feeling that gives me yet. I don't know. I think my response is thank you so much for your support, because I know the intentions behind it, and I love that as Americans we love our soldiers so much and our military so much, and respect them beyond belief, and I don't know the feeling behind it and why. Like, I know your intention behind it. I don't know why my feeling behind it is like that.
It's a very common thing that I hear all the time.
Yeah. And, I don't know if there is a different approach. Because that's even myself, knowing that about me. I work in the hospital now. If I see someone coming in and they have the Army hat or, the cap that symbolizes they served in the military, I shake their hand, thank them for their service. Even knowing that about me, it's just natural. You want to recognize that. I don't know, man. Buy me a beer somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what. I really don't know.
Yeah. I always wonder how to approach that, because I get that sentiment from quite a few people of, okay, well, I just did what it was my job. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Shake my hand.
Shake my hand. Yeah.
Shake my hand.
Yep.
We don't have to say words.
Yeah, because I know that it's not just I went over there to do a job. There's things that are a part of you forever now, due to that choice. And I think just showing respect for those moments and for the things that people have done. Got family members that are POWs, and I've got family members that didn't make it, and family members that did, and so I don't know. Like, I've always been scared to go to the military, to be quite honest. Like, I was preached that by my mother on one side, it's like, do your grades, son, make sure you get your grades up so we don't lose you or whatever. So I've always had the fear of like that, but I've always had on the other side, like, I wanted to go, like, and stand up for my country and be the person that saves everybody. Like, I wanted to do that, but also there is a fear of losing yourself, losing your life. And I don't know if it was more my life, but it was more myself, because I think for the most part, like, there's a little bit of something inside of you that, kind of gets awakened, when you guys go off to do something, and so, and it's something you can never put back in the box again.
Yeah. Yeah. You describe it as your brain rewires itself to the primordial side of things. And it wires very quickly to that. It's just natural.
To what's acceptable and what's not.
Yeah. Your fight flight response becomes like that.
Yeah.
Everyone has it, but to what degree? When we get into here and it all shuts down, it's not so easy to get it wired back to what we consider normal is.
Reset.
And it doesn't ever fully rewire to that. And so that's where you either recognize that in yourself and make the choice to work on yourself to start that rewiring process to mitigate yourself versus not and just thinking you're fine. Oh, I can do this alone. And then that's when suicide and everything else that can happen, alcoholism, drugs, really comes into plays when you don't recognize that, or others recognize it in you and you don't want to listen to it. And so I think that's where you gotta try and recognize that in a buddy, hold them accountable, be that like, hey, you're hurting. I can see it.
Yeah.
I know you're hurting. What can we do to help you? And so that's what I try to do.
So what I see altogether is Meat Therapy is really a launch pad, for these guys to come in and go from something they're comfortable with, something they get enjoyment out of, that they can actually either tear it down and launch off to something else that can help them, open doors to things that can help them, but it's really kind of an introductory launch pad, an introductory session to, hey man, we're all cooking some great food here and we all love this, but let's talk for a minute.
Yeah.
What's ailing you?
Yeah. I guess I hadn't really thought about it as being something like that, but it's what's really become. It really is like a therapy session. And it just, you don't walk into your therapist's office day one and just spill your guts, but I tell you, it can get some good conversations going and follow-up conversations. Like I've had several folks that have come through and I share my cell phone, like, hey, if you need anything, got questions, reach out. I love it when I get questions over, hey, I'm going to do that brisket now, But boy, when I get those questions of, hey, I'm kind of feeling like this. Have you ever felt that way? Oh, have I? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
Those meaningful, impactful conversation that's come out of those therapy sessions it's changed my life.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, how much have you grown since you've started doing this, and how much has it been able to, I won't say bury, but help heal some of those?
Tremendously. Even to the point of whenever recognizing that I was failing myself and my family after, deaths of, I'm preaching this message, not preaching it, but I'm trying to live by this and get others to grasp the mental health aspect and know it's okay to not be okay, but here I am lying to myself saying I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's helped me recognize quicker that, I need a tune-up. I, for me, to continue helping others.
Yeah.
And I think it's taught me patience, just a lot of different things, which is, I hadn't really thought about it until sitting here with you. We just kind of
stair step through it.
Yeah, go through it and help when you can help and do, but you don't really.
It's funny. I've had this conversation a lot of times with people talking through their story and just kind of narrating it as we're walking it out. People don't realize how they got from A to Z sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really funny because you can just go, oh, I see this and you did that. And they go, I've never thought about that before. And it's like, well, you lived it. Like you lived it and didn't see it. You know what I mean? It's really kind of a neat thing for me to be a part of, to watch, connections happen in someone's mind of, oh, this is where this at. Oh, that's where that came from. That's why I feel that way or whatever. Right. That's why I like barbecue.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Have you ever heard of a barbecue joint called Teddy Bear's Barbecue.
Oh, Teddy Bear. Oh, Craig. Yeah, buddy. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart that a Bostonian can sling Texas barbecue so damn well.
A Yankee.
But, yeah. He, I love that guy. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, we met in Alaska. That's how we met. We had a mutual friend that was cooking at State Fair, and we both just happened to be there to help him out.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that we were 30 miles apart, never met him, and man, he's one of my best friends now.
Yeah.
I know he helps us with our events. We got him to move down to Waxahachie, be closer, and he's just an outstanding guy.
Unbelievable human.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You play golf with him?
I have a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. I owe him and my neighbor, Sam. So Sam, we're all like really good buddies, and I owe them a golf trip that I've had back issues pretty bad here this last year that I've been able to own up on, but they ain't let me down yet, or let me live it down. But yeah, we've played a few times.
Who's taking the crown on that bad boy?
Oh, Craig.
Oh, Craig's wearing it out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That kid, for being a husky, sexy fella, he can swing that. He's like a John Daly out there.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. He does good. Sam, he tries. He does pretty good. But yeah, Craig, he can shoot some golf.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's challenged me a few times to go play. So
you need to do it.
I'm ready.
Him up on it.
Yeah.
You're going to need about 17 cigars to get through the round, but
I love it.
But yeah, no, you got to go play with that guy. He's just fun to be around.
Yeah, for sure.
He's from where we're at now with meat therapy. We do a lot of events now, which I never thought we'd be doing.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be where we were at now without him. Or saying like our first ever real event we did, I was telling him about it. He was like, oh, well, if you need help, let me know. And it was out at TX Whiskey Distillery. And 3 years later, we're still out there. He's there, everyone. And I think, he doesn't ask to get paid. He gets paid in whiskey drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
But like he's a part of our story.
Yeah.
And Sam and we have other friends like Misty and Travis. Travis is a Navy veteran. He, when we do the boot campaign events, he and his wife come out there and help with those, and our other military events that we do. He makes sure he's there, and his son is in the Navy now and just completed his basic training for it, and seeing that story unfold with them, and Brandon, Tracy, like it's the amount of support from people of all walks of life. It's so humbling. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, people see you doing a good thing, and they want to jump in and help. And that just means you're doing the right things, right? People donating time.
Yeah.
People donating time to come out. And one of the, if not the best, and I'm going to call you Teddy Bear. I'm going to call you a pit master. I know you don't like that, but guess what? One of the best pit masters out there. And donating his time. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to see. That just means you're doing the right stuff.
We're trying, because this wasn't on the plan sheet.
Yeah, it never is.
And it just continues to evolve into something, and we're trying to do it the right way every step of the way.
What's the long-term goal for this?
Funny you asked that.
Okay.
I asked my wife that about 2.5 months ago. We were on a big stretch, and I was in the hot tub recovering, and I said, "What's our end game with this?" Because I'm working, and I don't want to call meat therapy a job, but like these events we do and things like that, it's a lot that goes into it, and plus my full-time job and family. So what's our end game with this? Because I can't keep this pace up. I know I look like I'm 29, but I am no spring chicken. Hell, I'm a pappy. So we got to start looking at that. And we got a couple ideas on paper. My father-in-law, he's an awesome guy, businessman, things like that. And he actually texted me today with some things to think about, put on paper, and just because, who knows? A year from now, it might be the only thing I'm doing.
That's cool.
I don't know.
That's cool.
Got a lot of things to do and plan, and just see what happens.
Yeah, go all in, 10 toes, baby.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what we've been doing, and we try to choose events that are meaningful and bring joy to myself and to others. But because we're limited on what we can do because of my real job and things like that, to where, how much more of an impact could we make if this was the full-time job?
Yeah.
Or the full-time gig.
Radio spots and, stopping and doing more of these. And
who knows?
Yeah.
And just getting out there to share the story.
Yeah.
Help bring, I call it mental health awareness, which I think all this really is around mental health and figuring out what helps you, and just want to keep sharing that story to others. I don't want that end to stop.
Yeah. If you need some help, give us a holler.
Oh,
we got you for sure.
I appreciate that.
And is there any way that these people can kind of connect with you? And
yeah, social media. I'm on all the social media platforms. It's meet.therapy, which I've kind of taken a step back from social media. I'm not as active on there, mainly because I enjoy posting things and how to do, but because we're doing so much more out there in real life, from events and the events we're doing, like going around to different Texas military bases and feeding soldiers and veterans out there, things like that, that's meaningful, impactful. Not saying what I do on social media is not, and it can have a larger reach, but it's just getting harder for me to do that. I don't want to say the drive's not there, but the drive to create content is hard, because I feel like I built the relationships on being able to engage on there with people, and it's getting harder and harder to engage because we're just so busy, and I don't like not having that time to be authentic, and I don't want to hire some company to run my social media and be that guy. No, we built this on being relational. Yeah. And that's how I want it to continue. So if you see me post, it's because I've had time. I got time. Yeah. If you have questions over what I do or what I've said or brought up, I have that time now to give to you. Yeah. Because there's nothing greater we can give somebody than our time. Yeah. And I want to make sure that even from that social media aspect, we can do it. So meet.therapy, that was a long explanation from there. Sorry. You're good. Or you can email us, info@meettherapybbq.com. Okay. And so that's there. And if you don't remember that, you can just go to our website, meettherapybbq.com. And there's like a little form where you can contact us from there.
Cool. So, I got one quick little scatter shoot, and then we're going to roll through and wrap this up.
Okay.
What is the number one tip you can give somebody making burgers?
Making burgers?
Burgers. Is it the meat? Is it the seasoning? Is it the temp?
Yep. I like 80-20. I don't want to go too lean.
Okay.
I also don't want too much fat in there.
Okay.
They're going to shrink up, be a little 80-20 I found is a really good mix. Don't pre-season. Season right before you're going on.
Okay.
So you don't want it to, you want to maintain, so the salt is going to remove that moisture out of the cells, right? Mm-hmm. Which works on your big proteins. Yeah. But burgers, things like that,
you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that because it's already ground up. It just doesn't act the same. So season right before you're going to go on. You don't want to season, let it rest and sweat. No, season, go on. Temperature wise, whatever your liking is. Like I cook my burgers to about 140, 145. That's how my wife, I cook. Most of my recipes you see me post, I cook to my wife's liking. Keeps her happy, keeps me happy, keeps the house happy, right?
Yeah.
Another little, you can take your spoon, like once you form your patties, take like your big tablespoon and concave the middle.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you'll cook and like your outsides will be good and you'll be raw in the middle, things like that. But if you can kind of flatten that out, you'll get a more even cook.
Okay.
So that's probably one of the biggest tips.
Because they're going to draw up anyway. So if you smash it in the middle, it evenly distributes. That's cool.
That's your patty before you season it. Like it's formed, concave that middle.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay. What about ribs?
Pork or beef?
Let's go beef ribs.
Beef ribs. Just season it and cook it. Beef ribs you're going to take till it's probe tender. They're usually going to be a little bit higher. About 205-ish is usually pretty good on those. Beef ribs are easy.
Okay.
It's just, you don't wrap them. You don't do anything to them. I don't even spritz them. I just put them on and let her go.
What about pork ribs?
Pork ribs. So I cook my pork. I like textile pork ribs. My wife likes more of a competition style. She loves the additional sweetness that comes through. And she doesn't like we don't use barbecue sauce on our ribs. So try the wrap method in foil with all kinds of goodies. Like really to enhance your flavors. Season it up. After I usually wrap them, I don't know, a couple hours in. Once I get like the color I'm looking for, wrap them up. I'll do butter, a couple pats of butter, some brown sugar, some seasoning, maybe some honey, maybe some agave, maybe some of my simple syrup. I don't know. I'll kitchen sink in there, and just play around with it. Have fun with them.
Okay.
Don't be scared. And fall off the bone versus fall off the bone, bite through, cook the damn things however you like them. If you like, as soon as you pick it up and it breaks in half, cook it
then that's a win.
There you go.
Yeah.
You did it. Good job. Don't be scared with them. Spend a little time, trim them up a little bit.
Okay.
Just, you have that chine bone on one end where it'll be sticking out, kind of cut them off, cut that off. And then your flapper piece, I'll usually cut it off. I'll still cook it. It'll cook faster and it's just a little snack while everything else is cooking.
Yeah.
But get it a little more symmetrical just because it's pretty.
Yeah. What about steak?
Steak.
Let's go ribeye.
Ribeye. So I love doing a reverse sear. I'm a good 2-inch steak guy.
Okay.
Salt it up heavy, rinse it, re-season it. Then I'll put it in, and I love teaching this method too, because even if you don't have a smoker, you can do it in your oven. Put it in till you hit about 110, if you like medium rare, which that's what we do. So it hits about 110, 115 degrees. Pull it out, let it rest for about 20 minutes. Get your cast iron going, popping hot. Put you some good oil or tallow in there. Something about just like cooking your beef and the mama's beef. I don't know. It just appears a little sadistic, but it works out. So tallow, beef and tallow. And just rip it about 90 seconds each side. Get that good crust. Let it sit there for another 10 minutes. Slice her up.
Then get at it.
Yeah. I did one up. That's both my wife and I's favorite steak. So I did a couple up Sunday. Like we dropped the kiddo off with the grandparents Saturday, get home Sunday. She's like, can we have steak? I was like, let's get it. Let's go. If it's a thinner steak, just grip it and rip it. Like don't try and do all the fancy stuff. Just put it on that heat, flip it until you learn like the touch feel with it, with the rare, medium rare, medium, flip it every minute. Just the 1 minute method.
Okay.
Flip till you're there.
Okay.
You'll get it where you want it. You'll have your a beautiful crust on there, and it works out.
Are you a bacon wrap hot pepper guy? Or are you
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Maple bacon? What were we looking at?
No, I do just regular.
Okay.
Just a regular bacon. But we'll season our bacon, whatever we're using. And then, but yeah, we'll do Texas Twinkies. I've played around. I've done Australian Twinkies where I've used kangaroo in there. Regular just jalapeno poppers. And I love jalapenos. Who doesn't love bacon? But I'll tell you, prosciutto.
Okay.
So our classes will ask if anybody, dietary this or that. And we have a good friend, and she does not like bacon. I'm like, I don't know how you're even American, but whatever. But she likes prosciutto. So I was like, all right, I'll do a one-off for you. I'll do prosciutto. And I did it up. She loved it. I loved it. It's actually really good. So try playing with some prosciutto, like on your peppers. Things like that.
I actually mixed a little bit of brisket seasoning in my with sausage, and then a cream cheese, and then I'll pre-cook the peppers for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just kind of get them a little warm and soft so they're not so crispy when everything else starts to cook. And then put it in there like a boat and then sprinkle brown sugar over the top of it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's that spicy, sweet taste. It's so good.
Plays with the taste buds.
Oh, man, so good. Eat a whole tray of those bad boys.
Yeah, well, that's another one of our favorites. I probably do poppers more than anything else out there just because it's like, we had some leftover chicken. Let me chop it up, or pork, or whatever. I mean, you can stuff that thing with whatever you want. Yeah. Then add bacon.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Anything I left out that specialty of yours? Pollo, chicken, anything? I don't know.
Everyone, this is funny. I feel like a lot of people ask, like, what's your specialty? What do you love cooking? Out of everything, prime rib.
Okay.
Like I was talking about 2009 getting out. Well, I had a good buddy, Leland. He enjoyed cooking too. We started kind of cooking together. Well, we would do prime ribs together, and we just work it up, and I don't know, just there's memory, and I just love a good prime rib, or a rib roast, And so, like I have one, my Christmas one I've been working on for several days now. Like I have a 7-day process, or a 5-day process, a 3-day process, or a day of process that I've played with over the years. And I just love prime rib. I love that because it's such a big piece of meat, and your carryover cook. You talk about that in the resting phase. You pull a steak off or whatever, you let it rest, and you plan for a little bit of carryover cook. Well, the bigger the piece of meat is, the longer that carryover cook can go. So, like if you're wanting a medium rare center on your prime rib, you're not pulling that thing at 125, 128, pulling around 110.
Okay.
It's going to sit there and rest because all that heat and energy is going to continue to distribute through for quite some time. A little foil on there. And so just like brisket's fun, but to get that excellent prime rib, it takes some playing around with to get that heat distribution during the rest and things like that. Down. So I love. Now you got me ready for Christmas. I'm ready for my prime rib.
How much money do you think you spend on beef in your life?
A metric shit ton.
That's the full load right there.
I have no idea. No clue.
You ought to sit back sometime and just think, like, over the years I probably did about $2,000 this month. Well, the next year I took that job and it's $5,000, and that's $20,000, and next thing you know, it's like, I'm at $250,000 in beef I bought so far.
I'd probably throw up if I actually sit down and do. What did I do? What have we done? Well, but then I look at my wife's therapy. I'm like, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
The house.
But at the end of the day, too, you're feeding your family.
Yes.
It's got you where you're at right now.
Yeah.
You're doing podcasts.
I know. Holy cow. Like I said, everything, just the relationships that have been formed throughout this journey has been life-changing.
Yeah.
Really has. Like, I've created life-lasting relationships.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well, man, I'm super proud of you. I love what you're doing. I love what the mission's about. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah. appreciate the insights on the old fashions as well.
Oh yeah.
So, well, everybody, that's the blueprint, and till next time, we'll see you.